This is a 2016 film called Your Name. Now, it's a Japanese animated fantasy directed and written by Makoto Shinkai. And it's a very, very, very good film. Now, if you remember a few days ago, I was talking about body swap films with Freaky Friday. Well, this is kind of that kind of thing. It's a body swap film, but it's a much more advanced one. Mitsuha Miyamizu and Taki Tachibana, I could say these fine last night, are both 17-year-olds in Japan, but they do not know each other and they live far apart. In their dreams, they start to switch bodies occasionally. Mitsuha waking up as Taki waking up as Mitsuha, and spending the day like that. Now, once they realise that this is happening repeatedly, and it's not a dream, they thought it was a very realistic dream, each of them, but it turns out that they are actually switching bodies. So once they realise this is happening repeatedly, they start leaving messages for each other on their phones and even writing on their skin. Mitsuha sets up a date for Taki with a young lady, Miki, who Taki works with and admires, and Taki similarly arranges things for the advantage of Mitsuha's life. Now, Mitsuha herself lives with her grandmother in a rural town. Her and her sister are maidens of the family shrine, and they make sake the traditional way by chewing rice and spitting it out to be fermented, even in this day and age. This is a contemporary film. It's a 2016 film. Now, Mitsuha's grandmother, on one occasion when Mitsuha is really Taki, seems to realise that she is not her but someone else, and it doesn't take her by surprise at all. The family make a kind of traditional braided thread. Mitsuha wears one of them as a hair ribbon. And at one point, she suddenly takes a train, Mitsuha. She takes a train to Tokyo on impulse and eventually bumps into Taki. She wanted to do that. She had no way of finding him, but she does. She eventually bumps into Taki on a train, who she recognises, but he doesn't recognise her at all, as he is actually 3 years younger at this stage. And for that Taki, the body swapping won't happen for another 3 years. So she tries to start up a conversation, but it goes very badly. And just as she leaves the train in embarrassment, he wants to know her name, and she calls out her name and throws her hair thread to Taki, who catches it. Taki, in most of the film, 3 years older Taki, is seen wearing it around his wrist. All the way through the film, there is a concurrent story about a comet, Taimat, about to pass close to the Earth on the day of the autumn festival. Taki's date with his co-worker Miki, arranged by Mitsuha during one of their body swaps, goes badly as he is preoccupied and he tries calling Mitsuha afterward for the first time. They did swap numbers, but they said only in emergency. So he calls Mitsuha for the first time, but the number doesn't exist. And after that, the body swapping stops. And a long time later, much later, years later, Taki starts drawing what he remembers. Now, he's training to be an architect, and he draws very well. And he's sketching out all of the scenery and places and people that he remembers from the body swaps. Taki, Miki, and a friend go by train to look for the place, quite far out into the hills. Taki lives in Tokyo, you see. He's very urbane. They go to look for this place out in the sticks that he's drawn and sketched, and it turns out that the town was destroyed. So he drew it as it was 3 years ago. Now the town was destroyed when Comet Taimat fragmented 3 years ago, and a piece of the comet caused a crater next to an existing historical crater, which is where the town was based, killing 500 people in the town. Now, one last body swap, there's a lot of adventure at this point, and one last body swap occurs where Taki wakes up as Mitsuha with the objective of saving the town. And at one point, Mitsuha in Taki's body goes to the crater where Taki in Mitsuha's body is also. And they eventually find each other and they can hear each other, but they can't see each other, as they are actually 3 years apart, but in the same spot. But as twilight falls, they begin very, very faintly, they begin to see each other, as twilight hour is the magic hour, where time unravels a bit, and then the threads begin to rejoin. And the film is really superbly animated. It's a fantastically high quality film. The story is strong, the characters are engaging, and visually, it's always very, very beautiful and often very impressive. It's a live action remake of this film was planned in 2017, but not set in Japan, but in America. And as of September 2020, so a few months ago, it's still in writing and directing development, so we could actually end up seeing that as a film. Maybe not called Your Name, but it's a remake. It's based on this. 2016, Your Name. Thank you very much.